Hello, everyone. Welcome back to yet another of the horrors of XBLIG. This time we're looking at Decay, Part 1. I say Part 1 because Decay was actually a 4-part series released on Xbox Live Indie Games. We will be looking at all of them, but this one is the first. Decay, I guess you could describe as being little short point-and-click horror adventures. Let's start a new game and we'll see what the world of Decay is all about. We begin in a bathroom, as it appears that we attempted to hang ourselves. Somehow, we're still alive. Let's look at what the tutorial is. We have a cursor on screen that we move around to interact with the world, so it's a bit puzzling that this is on Xbox. You would think that this seems like it was made for PC. Well, it seems like the most obvious thing on the screen for us to take a look at is this noose. Whoever we are, we seem quite surprised that we attempted to kill ourselves. The toilet does not seem to hold any secrets for us, at least not right now. Might as well take a look in the medicine cabinet. Maybe some pills will clear our head. There are no pills. There is something in there, though. Tweezers. Well, it is a point-and-click adventure, so we probably should pick it up. We can look at the things that we've picked up, of course. Gasp. Something has appeared in the reflection that was not there before. For behind us, now the word Gil has appeared. Who knows what that might mean? You know, after the stress of that our protagonist has obviously been going through, maybe the thing that we really need is a nice hot bath. Doesn't that just figure? Even that escapes us. It is a very rusty key. Nothing remarkable about it, no markings or anything. Just a plain old rusty key. So as you can see, the graphics, they do look quite nice. I mean, it's all pre-rendered, it's all FMV, except for the polygonal items that we can rotate and look at in the inventory. Something seems to be stuck, but it's hard to tell exactly what. We could try our key. No, whatever's stuck in there is blocking the key from unlocking the door. Fortunately, we picked up tweezers. This note we saw in the intro. Yeah, that is what we saw. I mean, it seems like it would imply we did, even though we can't seem to remember it. Oh, there is TV right here. Maybe we should just try to calm our nerves, watch a little television. Maybe we did a little bit of nerve calming ourselves before. Unfortunately, most of the channels seem to be out of commission. Well, maybe there's something we'll be able to watch later. Didn't say how much exactly we remember of anything. Do we remember this room? Do we remember any of the items contained therein? All we know is that we don't remember writing that note. Whoops. Some odd building, but, I mean, we picked it up, so it seemed like there would be a reason for it. That seems like the obvious place to post a letter like that. Well, it appears that someone named Emily wrote us a letter. Who can say if that's our daughter, but whoever she is, she enjoys watching cartoons on Channel 44. Maybe that channel's still on. Indeed it is. You know, animation of cartoons these days is just really quite bad. Just look at that. Just one frame on the screen the whole time. Is there any information we might be able to get from this? I don't know. I don't even know what kind of entertainment Emily might have been getting from just watching one frame of a cartoon. It just seems to be on the TV the whole time. Regardless, let's just remember what we saw on the screen right there. Maybe it'll come in handy later. A newspaper clipping, which I guess must have been very important to us if we taped it up like this. It's about 3 people dying in a crash, it seems, or rather the car drove in the water. Though it hasn't been found, you would assume that they're dead. Well, if we did write that one suicide note, it would indicate that we probably wrote this. It was indeed our body that was in the bathroom. It mentions that we lost our beloved daughter Emily and our wonderful grandchild. We saw the letter from Emily before, and it seemed like a child had written that, but maybe that was a very old letter. Maybe that was when Emily was a child. Maybe she grew up, married, had a child herself. And maybe the 3 of them went missing in a car somewhere. Who can say? I mean, this is all just speculation. This apartment building, I would assume, has seen better days. Well, it looks like someone wants us to stay out. But it is an adventure game, so we probably should just break in anyway, shouldn't we? 3 numbers. Have we seen 3 numbers anywhere so far? Well, actually, yes, if you think about the cartoon we just saw, one character was holding up all 5 fingers of his hand. The other character, a ninja, was holding up 2 fingers on his hands. Why someone would set their lock to that, I don't know. But someone did. Unfortunately, it's too dark in the closet, and there's something in here with us, it might seem. So let's just stay out of there until we're able to turn the lights on. It seems that we're unable to leave our apartment building. No one else is in the apartment building, however, so if there was a reason for everyone to leave, I guess we did not know about it. We were too busy hanging from the bathroom ceiling. I don't know what Metal Knight might represent. Let's have a look around at these other... Oh! Some pretty impressive decorating. Let's have a closer look at that. Whoops. Oh dear, don't you hate that when it gets all over the new dress? It says there will be more, from which I can only assume they mean there will be more new dresses coming, so that's good. Things are looking up. There seems to be something hanging from the floor ceiling. Well, we can't reach the battery, but we don't have anything we could use a battery with, though, honestly. It's a little difficult to read that. Something about a serial killer. We can't just turn it upside down. Yeah, it is upside down. So we'll just leave it be for right now. And that's the door that we came out of. Another bottle sitting outside. As we enter the room, it seems that we can feel some kind of menacing presence. Leaving might be a good idea, but it's stuck. We have these pictures on the wall. Well, we can move them around. But what good might that do? Another picture separate from the others. Well, whatever the presence is in this room, it does not want us moving that picture frame. Nothing we can do with these, however. And we still can't leave. So the only thing we can really interact with in this haunted room are these pictures. The pictures are at different heights, so we might try to assume which person would go with which height. We can assume that this very young-looking person would be the very shortest. Over here on the left, let's say that's going to be the second shortest. And there we go. The shadows have been moved away. And now they're all here, next to this other portrait. It still will not let us move the frame, however. But now they have challenged us to a game. The most devious game of tic-tac-toe. Whatever this evil force is, it will attempt to get 3 O's in a row. I guess it is giving us the advantage, however, because it's not taking the center square for itself. So confident is its ability, its skill in tic-tac-toe, it will let us take that for ourselves. We've taken it to a draw twice. It says we only need to do it 3 times. So, what might change if we are able to beat it for the 3rd time? It appears winning a tic-tac... Well, not winning, but taking it to a draw in tic-tac-toe has cleared this room of the entity that haunted it. It's well known among paranormal investigators that that's basically the way you do it. Flashlight. Well, we can think of one place where we might be able to use that. One place that was a bit too dark for us. And a letter that was written. It appears that perhaps the resident of this apartment, perhaps the entity that haunted it, was a murderer? Perhaps. We did see something earlier about a murderer that was still at large. And the door has been opened for us, now that we have defeated the evil entity. A battery is needed to operate this flashlight. Fortunately, we know where one is, even though we were not able to get our hands on the battery before. And I guess the haunting of that room also affected this room, turned it upside down. Now that that's completed, the room is back to normal. And now that we have that, let's just use that with our flashlight. It's now operable. We'll take a look at that closet that we unlocked before, but first, let's see if we can get a better look at this little thing here. A serial killer was still at large, referred to as the Pale Man. Well, if what we suspect is true, it seems that the Pale Man himself is indeed dead, and his spirit has been defeated at tic-tac-toe. And because of that, it has been banished to the netherworld. I assume that's what happens. We heard something moving around in this closet, but we see nothing moving around now. That's a pretty ugly looking doll. I don't mean to be insulting, but I don't know who would want that. Well, I can think of something we can do with this little plumbing problem we had earlier. Other boxes can be found in this closet, but it doesn't seem like we're interested in any of it, not even that shovel. There was something moving around, though. We probably should just head back to our bathroom and see if we can draw that bath. It sounds like that would be quite nice right now. We'll just ignore that. Aha! The writing has been filled in. A gate? A gate to what? Maybe a gate out of the apartment building? That would probably be nice, since I don't know why we're stuck here. For right now, though, I think the only thing we have to be concerned about is this bath. Oh, well, maybe not bathing in black water. Or maybe we will. Maybe we'll just dive in because we can't feel the bottom, so just go for a cannonball into the bathtub. Why not? And that's part 1 of Decay. Like I said, it's a 4-part series of these little short point-and-click adventures. Basically very, sort of horror tension themed. They seem pretty well put together. I liked how they looked. I like the pre-rendered graphics FMV look of the whole thing. And as we continue on, we'll go on with parts 2, 3, and 4 of Decay and see how the whole thing pans out, because there weren't too many answers to be had in part 1. We woke up after apparently attempting to hang ourselves in our bathroom, looked around our abandoned apartment, and eventually figured out a way to fill our bathtub, which opened up some kind of infinite portal in which we dove in. There's some extras to Decay. They originally were going to call it Fallen Angel, decided not to. Whoops. We remember that photo. That was on the photo in which the back of it had that letter. The murderer that was haunting the apartment. Right, so a few pieces of concept art. So that's really all there is in the extras for Decay. So like I said, I like this. I think that it had a nice mood to it. Even though it was very short, of course, if you are playing it for the first time and you don't know what to do, it'll take you a little longer. Maybe twice as long as what we were spending right here. So it's not anything long, but I think it was alright for what it did. Let's see how parts 2 and 3 and 4 go, and see how the story pans out. We'll find that out in the following upcoming weeks. See you next time for another horror of XBLIG, which will be Decay Part 2. See you then.